PEKKA is the deadliest, formidable, and most terrifying card in Clash Royale history. For many years, she has stood as an unbeatable symbol of power, destruction, and dominance. Even during periods when she vanished into the shadows, players never abandoned her, never betrayed her, and never turned their backs on her.
PEKKA's got the tower down! 3 swings and it is finished off with the horn!
Goes with the fireball, PEKKA gets one more hit, oh my god.
Wait, PEKKA?
PEKKA right now is absolutely insane. 53% use rate.
Now the Mama PEKKA says, hello, tower!
On track, and the family trip is complete again, and they're both headed.
It appears almost everyone was wrong who said she was getting nerfed, and she now appears stronger than before.
Yet what makes PEKKA truly exceptional is not just her power in battle, but the mysterious origins and purpose that lie beneath. PEKKA possesses a unique backstory that few are aware of. One can't help but wonder what secrets remain buried, waiting to be uncovered.
As you can see right here, we have 8 PEKKAs in there, and we go right in here, and we got another one.
Her backstory began 4 years before Clash Royale was released, on August 2nd, 2012, with the global launch of Clash of Clans. The game revolutionized the mobile gaming industry and introduced PEKKA, which captured the hearts of players worldwide.
The PEKKA in its full glory. Alright, here we go, let's go! Yeah, hit him! Slap her in the face!
PEKKA's popularity grew rapidly, leading to her becoming an iconic figure within the gaming community. No wonder players couldn't go a day without playing Clash of Clans. They played during class, while getting a tattoo, or while mowing the lawn. It's remarkable to see how much changed since those early days, including the evolution of legendary cards like PEKKA. PEKKA's impact on the gaming world was undeniable, sparking a wave of creativity and passion. Right after she was introduced, players started speculating. Is PEKKA a knight, a samurai, a robot? PEKKA's mysterious identity added to her charm, making her a fan favorite among players. But what exactly does PEKKA stand for? The acronym PEKKA doesn't officially stand for anything in particular. However, on August 22nd, 2012, Supercell initiated a Facebook contest to determine the most fitting name for PEKKA, based on the number of likes each suggestion received. Many interesting and hilarious ideas came up, but before I share them with you, please consider subscribing. My dream is to hit 10k subscribers this year, and I'm sure you guys can tell at this point how much effort I put into these videos. Plus, I've just launched a new Discord server where you can hang out with me and some fellow fans. Check the first link in the description below to join. It's a fun community where we can talk, hang out, play games, and hey, maybe you guys could even suggest some future content for me to cover. Now, let's dive back into the captivating world of PEKKA and her intriguing backstory. The ideas of the meaning of PEKKA were as follows. Pete, the extremely kind killing android, and pretty expensive kind-hearted kingdom annihilator. But the title, perfectly enraged knight killer of assassins, came out as victorious. However, even after the contest, many questions remained unanswered. One of them is, what gender is PEKKA? All gamers believed it was male, however, soon enough there were enough hints to figure out that PEKKA was a girl. As one of the leading screen hints in Clash of Clans states, the armor on PEKKA is so heavy that spring traps don't affect her. In addition, PEKKA was included in the official Clash Royale Twitter post for International Women's Day. Also in Clash-orama, she was referred to as her.
One of our own has heroically offered herself to trade. Let's all give a cheer to PEKKA 1!
But PEKKA 1 can't walk there.
True. In the last battle, she stepped into that mortar.
And that's not all. In Clash Royale, the PEKKA Protector's doctrine description says, no one messes with her butterfly, which brings me to another question. Was PEKKA really as menacing as it seemed at first glance? Despite her fearsome and mighty appearance, the PEKKA has shown to be tender in some commercials. She holds a deep love for butterflies in her heart, and that's pretty adorable. This is why, when deployed, PEKKA will briefly say, "butterfly," in a robotic voice. It's like she's reminding herself of her softer side, under the chaos of battle. This unexpected soft side adds depth to her character and challenges the initial image of her as purely evil. But wait, there is more. PEKKA isn't just a formidable warrior. She's also a loving mother with a heart of gold. She's passed down her affection, not for butterflies, but for pancakes, to her son, the mini PEKKA. Witnessing them together in the kitchen, flipping pancakes with nothing but joy and love, is truly heartwarming, despite the fact that mini PEKKA sometimes lets himself go too far in order to get pancakes. First, we saw PEKKA and Mini PEKKA in the Clash-orama comic strip, with the headline, "Bring Your Child to Work Day," which clearly states that they're a family. But how do we know Mini PEKKA is a boy? Well, the Mini PEKKA's gender has been confirmed as male, as the Mini PEKKA commercial referred to the Mini PEKKA as he. However, a significant misunderstanding arose when Mini PEKKA was mistakenly referred to as she in a Clash of Clans post, later clarified as an error. This confusion led to some debate among Clash of Clans fans, but ultimately the official sources confirmed that Mini PEKKA is a male. Now, there's still the question left about the PEKKA. Who's behind that mask? Another mask, or something more unexpected? I came across a video that could expose the long-held secrets of PEKKA, revealing the truth. The answer may change everything we thought we knew about Clash Royale and its most mysterious character, but hold on to your curiosity for just a moment. We're currently deep in the past, and to fully understand the impact of this discovery, we gotta journey through each year, uncovering the events that shaped the destiny of PEKKA.
So happy to be here with you guys today, announcing the newest of Supercell's games, Clash Royale.
As Clash Royale came out to the gaming scene in early 2016, it brought with it a wave of excitement and eager curiosity.
No way I'm gonna be able to defend against this onslaught that's about to happen. Push to the freaking tower already! No! No! I'm down to 49! Gosh! I have my PEKKA! Oh, oop.
Among the 42 cards introduced, PEKKA made her formidable presence known, becoming a key element of the game's strategy and gameplay. With her formidable cost of 8 elixir and a deployment duration of 3, coupled with her immense hit points and devastating attacks, she has established herself as a deadly card that must be kept away from your tower at all costs. However, unlocking Epic PEKKA was no easy task. Back then, the rarity of epic cards held a huge weight. Players had to rely on luck or spend real money to get PEKKA, adding an extra layer of challenge to the game. Even rare cards, which may seem unimportant today, brought huge joy back then.
Oh, Mini PEKKA, yeah!
Each rare card collected felt like a small victory, proof of one's progress and dedication to the game. As a result, it's not surprising that finding gameplay footage of PEKKA throughout the first 4 months of 2016 proved basically impossible, with fewer YouTubers shooting gameplay videos at the time and even less possibility of them having a PEKKA in their decks. Made it pretty hard. So here, Molt dives into the fundamentals of Clash Royale in this video, providing invaluable insights into the game's mechanics at the time. It's a pretty rare gem, offering a glimpse into the time when PEKKA cost 8 elixir, but what truly captivates is the stark contrast in elixir costs compared to the present day. From the Musketeers' 5 elixir cost to the Bomb Tower's 6, and even the Goblin Barrel's 4 elixir cost. It's fascinating to see how the game has evolved over time, with strategies and card costs changing drastically. This video serves as a reminder of how far Clash Royale has come since its early days. Now you can understand the rarity and significance of unlocking PEKKA. Let's find out why she wasn't always the go-to choice for players despite her formidable reputation. The challenge lay in the difficulty of leveling her up. Many players found themselves facing the dilemma of including an under-leveled PEKKA in their decks, a situation that often led to unfavorable matchups. Common cards like Barbarians posed a significant threat to under-leveled PEKKA, as she just struggled to defeat them in a single hit. However, there was one factor that made PEKKA a far more effective and viable card. In a significant update in February, PEKKA saw a major change. Her elixir cost dropped from 8 to 7, and her hit points were reduced by 13%. That said, this adjustment proved to be a game changer. Despite the hit point decrease, the lower elixir cost made PEKKA more viable in matches. If players chose to deploy PEKKA at the back of their arena, they'd still have some elixir left to counter their opponent's moves. Unfortunately, due to limited data available during this time, finding usage and win rates is rather difficult. However, I carefully looked through various YouTube videos to find out when PEKKA first gained popularity and when her usage rate skyrocketed. Interestingly, it happened along with the February balance change, showing an enormous change in her viability and efficiency within the game. As you can hear in this video by Molt, his fans requested a video on how to counter PEKKA, indicating a notable increase in her usage in the arena, from rarely used to gradually becoming a formidable force in Clash Royale.
We're going to be talking about the PEKKA. Not the mini PEKKA, but the mega PEKKA, the large PEKKA. This freaking beast of a troop right here with 4,576 health. And I've been seeing a lot of people using it.
During this period, players experimented with specific cards that synergize with PEKKA to create devastating combos. One such deck that caught my eye involved the Pump, which was extremely overpowered at that time. It cost only 5 elixir and had significantly more hit points, a longer duration, and provided more elixir than its current state. The tactic involved placing PEKKA first, followed by minions behind to bait out the opponent's arrows. This allowed players to push with minion horde and skeletons either on the opposite side or behind the PEKKA, resulting in a pretty devastating push. With the release of the first legendary card in February, the Princess, and a new spell, Poison, a YouTuber named Ben Tim created a deck that was pure evil, as proved by the comments. Wow, this deck just got me over my high score of 2109. Thanks so much. Thanks for the help. I was on a losing streak. I won every battle so far with that deck. I love this deck so much. What's fascinating about this deck is that it lacks a win condition, but surprisingly, that didn't affect its effectiveness. The strategy relied on patiently waiting for the opponent to initiate a push, allowing them to deal some damage to the tower. Meanwhile, support troops like the wizard and archers were strategically placed behind the tower. Then, when the time was right, place the PEKKA at the bridge, creating a massive push. Well, this strategy caught opponents off guard and allowed for successful counterattacks. The element of surprise and adaptability of the deck kept opponents on their toes and led to many victories. However, by the end of February, a new update arrived, decreasing PEKKA's sight range to 5 tiles, reduced from 6. This buff made kiting the PEKKA harder. As a result, the popularity of PEKKA among players grew even more. We have visible proof of this in a Reddit post titled Daily Card Discussion for April. In this discussion, players shared their experiences and successes with PEKKA, with comments like, "This guy carried me to 2200 within a month. Very tough card to use well, but very rewarding." You need to actively have counters to counter the opponent's counters, as the PEKKA can become isolated if not careful, but when it eventually reaches the enemy tower, it is devastating. And my favorite card right now got me to Arena 7. These comments show the impact and effectiveness of PEKKA during that period. With the addition of new cards like the Princess and Dark Prince, the PEKKA Double Prince deck skyrocketed in popularity, establishing dominance over the meta and becoming a staple at the highest levels of gameplay.
I'm going to be showing you guys a deck that I see a lot at the top, and I'm sure you guys see this deck at the top of the leaderboards as well. It's really popular on TV Royale, and for me, I think it's one of the safest decks inside of the games. It has the PEKKA, the Princess, the Prince, as well as the Dark Prince. It works really well, and you can see he overcommitted to the right-hand side, so instantly I double draft the Prince as well as the Dark Prince.
The synergy between the PEKKA and the two princes created a powerful offensive combination that was difficult to stop.
PEKKA smacks that cannon, Dark Prince is going to continue charging for that tower, and even though he throws a huge fat giant skeleton in the front, that's going to go ahead and go down, giving us the first tower of the game.
Players had to adapt their strategies to effectively counter this deck in order to stay competitive in the game.
But now we have our minion horde, and seeing as he doesn't have arrows, he only brought a zap. The minions are actually going to do a pretty good job rushing him down. He's going to drop one more zap, but unfortunately the zap isn't going to make too much of a dent into that PEKKA. And
the following deck gained popularity among players by combining PEKKA with one of Clash Royale's most hated spells, Freeze.
Right now, my dude Chief Pat is in second place. A guy from my clan is in first place as well, and this is the deck that he's rolling with.
Also, pairing Valkyrie with Freeze was insane. Back then, a fully level Freeze spell lasted nearly double the time it does now. A pretty terrifying 7 seconds. Players could freeze the enemy troops, then deploy Valkyrie to effortlessly destroy even a 15 elixir push. With arrows included in this deck to eliminate swarms, this combination proved to be extremely effective. Let's take a closer look with this example match.
He's gonna start going for a push, and check out this combos, guys. I'm gonna drop my free spell, followed up by the Valkyrie, and watch as the Valkyrie goes insane in the center of all those troops. One of the strongest combinations in the game right now is the Valkyrie plus the free spell, and I dropped a good game because from this point onward, he is just in a ton of trouble. I'm going to make a push for that King Tower, and he's not even going to respond because that Valkyrie freeze combo is absolutely disgusting and destroyed his entire push.
But let me tell you, this strategy was just the tip of the iceberg. You see, there was this one player who took the PEKKA game to a whole new level. He crafted this deck. Let's call it the PEKKA Pump deck. It was pure genius. He combined both PEKKA and Mini PEKKA and the Witch, and let me tell you, back then she wasn't just any witch. She was a mad woman with a shotgun. Her attack speed was twice as fast as it is now, allowing her to crush swarms with ease, and then you throw in a rage spell and it was game over for anything in her path. But that's where it gets really interesting. This guy would drop the Mini PEKKA, Witch, or Archers at the bridge, forcing his opponent to react and create a push. But instead of panicking and countering immediately, he'd calmly push up, gaining an elixir advantage that would set him up for a 3-crown victory later on. It was like watching a master chess player outmaneuvering his opponent at every turn.
9 though. He's level 9 though. Let's back our PEKKA up with the Witch, pushing her at her back. Now let's see if he has any counters. If he's not doing anything, okay, even these skeletons, they are going down so quickly with raged skeletons and that Witch. And his tower is going down here. Let's get a Witch and let's rage our PEKKA. I want to have this win since so many things went wrong in this attack. We still can win this one. And our PEKKA, our Mini PEKKA is on track, and the family trip is complete again, and they are both hitting the tower, and it's going.
Now, just when you thought the PEKKA couldn't get any more deadly, let me tell you about the buffs that she received. By the end of June, a balance update hit the scene, increasing the PEKKA's damage by 8%, and it doesn't stop there. On August 2016, another balance update was released, boosting the PEKKA's damage by an additional 15%. Bringing it to a total 13% damage increase. Also, there was a sneaky little unannounced change to the PEKKA that flew under the radar, a decrease in her first attack time interval from 0.6 seconds to 0.5. This made the PEKKA even more deadly, and players began to realize her true potential when paired with the right support troops. Works very well with 3 Musketeers and shreds through tanks. My favorite card. Never put it out of my deck. My favorite thing about this card is the fact that it's the scariest and least scary card in the game. And reading this stuff, I couldn't agree more. It's all about how the player wields her and the deck she's part of. In the right hands, she's an unstoppable mommy that can turn the tide of a battle in an instant, but in the wrong hands, she could just be another card on the battlefield. Unfortunately, PEKKA faced tough times when new cards were added to the game. Mega Minion stood as one of the game-changing air cards with incredible hit speed, powerful attacks, and high health. It quickly dominated the meta. This dominance posed a significant challenge for PEKKA users, as Mega Minion proved to be a tough opponent that couldn't easily be countered with spells like Arrow or Fireball. By the way, if you're interested in diving deeper into the Mega Minion and its game-changing impact on Clash Royale, make sure to check out the video on my channel dedicated to its history and gameplay. It's a fascinating journey that builds on what you've learned here. Anyway, due to the PEKKA's slow deployment and the prevalence of underleveled cards, she struggled to make an impact in matches, leading to her absence in the top 100 by the end of 2016. A snapshot of the meta reveals Mega Minion with a 56% usage rate, Zap with 76%, and Ice Golem with 77%. Further complicating PEKKA's effectiveness. The Ice Golem's popularity surged due to several key factors: its potent slow effect lasting for 3 seconds, a larger radius compared to its current state, its death damage capable of clearing or severely damaging swarms, and its cost-effective ability to kite troops to the opposite side. As a result, PEKKA decks became rare sights in the arena, as she wasn't as overpowered in the face of such dominant cards. But fast forward to 2017 and everything changed in the blink of an eye.
Please! Please!
2017 brought many new cards and updates to Clash Royale, fundamentally changing its gameplay dynamics forever.
Let's go ahead and play this. Let's play this. clone absolutely everything. Check out this push right now. Check out this push. We have going 4 Night Witches going down. Look at all of those Night Witches and all of those bats.
Starting with a February balance update, the P.E.K.K.A.'s deployment time was reduced to 1 second from its previous 3-second duration. This change allowed P.E.K.K.A. to be more versatile and responsive in battle, making her a popular choice for many players once again. That deployment time buff makes it overpowered on defense. With the buff, I've managed to go to 3.6k trophies, which is my new best right now. That 1 second deploy time made a surprisingly big difference. The P.E.K.K.A.'s versatility has definitely increased with this update. Players are finding new strategies and tactics to play her effectively in both defense and offense. One of the most popular decks gaining traction was the combination of P.E.K.K.A. and Miner, as shown by a video by Ash. P.E.K.K.A., along with Inferno Dragon, has seen a rise in usage thanks to the dominance of giant golem decks in the current meta. Unlike the Inferno Dragon, P.E.K.K.A. can counter a tank and is also practically immune to lightning. This makes it an ideal addition to Mind Control in place of the Inferno Tower.
I'm going to show off this deck, winning 3 matches against 3 powerful decks in the current meta. I'm telling you, this Miner P.E.K.K.A. control, give it a shot. Carter's been posting about this on Twitter for a few days now, maybe even a week now, like how successful he's been with it, especially in challenges. And, you know, this just proves it here, all these replays. My tower's barely been touched, you know, considering I made all those mistakes in the match. And another lightning. As a matter of fact, all the damage that's been done to my tower pretty much has come from the lightning. The golem doesn't even get a hit on the tower. Now I know my miner and a log are going to finish up the match, and that's what they do right here.
The meta took an unexpected turn with the introduction of new cards. In May of 2019, Clash Royale introduced the Night Witch, a legendary card that completely broke the game.
Which doesn't usually run any spells other than log and sometimes zap, which is the case here. So we already know this is going to be a 3-crown. Check this out. 2 giants, 2 night witches, 2 mega minions, and a billion bats incoming on that left lane there. And you can see, even with the 3 musketeers, he's going to go ahead and drop that heal spell, and this is going to be so difficult. The mirrored, not cloned, the mirrored witch is going to go ahead and
she spawned 2 bats every 5 seconds, and 4 bats upon her death. Also, she had significantly more damage than today, and her attack range was much larger. No wonder she dominated the meta for a while.
Again, now the opponent's probably going to try to cycle to lightning, but at this point in his head, he's going to be thinking, oh my god, I should just go for a 3-crown. There's no way I can defend against this. 3 night witches, a mirror night witch, a mega minion, 2 giants. Are you kidding me? All Toby has to do at this point is distract a little bit on defense, and look at that. Incredible.
Due to these changes in the meta, we witnessed a significant increase in the usage of the Executioner in P.E.K.K.A. decks. His resilience to spells like Fireball and Lightning made him an ideal choice for countering the Night Witch effectively. With his ability to swiftly eliminate swarms of bats spawned by the Night Witch, the Executioner became a key in P.E.K.K.A. decks, providing smoother gameplay and more consistent victories.
Old deck right now, and it has been modified and updated. Of course, it's P.E.K.K.A. Executioner control, really looking to finish this match out. Double P.E.K.K.A. backed up by the Executioner. However, look at this defense here with that tornado in the Night Witch and the baby dragon. Eventually, both those P.E.K.K.A.s are gonna go down. Poor Dark Goblin get there.
The Night Witch proved to be incredibly powerful, especially if you lacked the appropriate counters like the Executioner. However, the game took another dramatic turn just 1 month later with the introduction of a new legendary card that would slowly but surely become the most hated card in Clash Royale history.
The Mega Knight.
The Mega Knight's high damage and frustrating jump mechanic made him quite annoying. Players quickly adapted their decks to include cards that could effectively counter the Mega Knight, such as the Inferno Tower, P.E.K.K.A. or Mini P.E.K.K.A. As a result, these cards became a common sight in the Mega Knight Challenge, where players could unlock him by winning the event.
I just mentioned this, but I want to reiterate, same thing goes for your Mega Knight. If the opponent drops the Mega Knight behind the King Tower, without you prompting them to, that's a bad move by them, a good move on you.
Despite the initial dominance of the Mega Knight, players soon learned how to counter it effectively, leading to a more balanced gameplay experience. Now, let's take a look into Woody's card popularity snapshot from October of 2017. Through an analysis of over 200 matches, Woody compiled lists of the most popular cards at the top of the ladder. Zap claimed the top spot with 108 appearances, followed by the Icy Spirit with 83, and Goblins with 74. Despite not leading the list, PEKKA still made a significant impact, appearing in 31 out of 200 matches and achieving a usage rate of over 15% in this study. Woody also examined the most utilized decks, with Logbait taking the lead with 26 appearances, followed by Golem Beatdown with 18, PEKKA Bandit Control with 15, and Hog Rider Cycle Control with 8 appearances. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on what this analysis tells us about the game's evolving meta. Despite PEKKA not topping the usage charts, her consistent presence and noticeable usage rate points out her continuing impact on Clash Royale gameplay. Her versatility and strength continue to make her a deadly choice for players across a variety of decks. In the daily card discussion on December 8th, 2017, players expressed their love for PEKKA in the comments, highlighting how they finally realized her full potential in the game. Probably the best card in the current meta. PEKKA is my favorite card now. I absolutely love the PEKKA. It took time for the community to realize how strong this card is. Overall, the community's sentiment towards PEKKA was extremely positive, with players complimenting her power and efficiency when used strategically. It's no surprise that in late 2017, the Clash Royale World Champion, Sergio Ramos, went with the PEKKA Minor deck to really dominate his opponent, Music Master.
Music Master, PEKKA is a master of destruction, and the timing could not hurt more just as the mortar comes out. You see it, oh, is Poison gonna come out? Is he saving up for it? The Electro Wizard gets cleaned up, and the Princess takes it out. She's gonna be shooting on the tower, but no, Bandit's gonna come clean her out. Still though, both of Sergio Ramos's towers are not looking very good. The PEKKA's got the tower down! 3 swings and it is finished off with the 4th. Sergio Ramos with the 2-0 lead.
During those World Finals, players had the freedom to pick any card for each match, since there weren't any rules against using the same deck twice in a row. That's why Sergio Ramos opted for the PEKKA Minor combo not just once, but twice in his final showdowns against Music Master.
If he can take out this PEKKA and keep the mortar standing, there is a very good chance that he can turn this around and take the tower.
Soaks the Bandit damage out the left side, and I agree with that. You gotta be able to take a one on the chin if you're gonna invest your elixir in defense of the right. He's going in hard, trying to tear that tower down with a good mortar lock, but the PEKKA takes short work of it, chopping out the back as the Minor goes in to support some minions, but once again, rebuffed. Sergio Ramos just has so many spells, and the Electro Wizard on top, he doesn't have to worry very much at all about these swarm attacks from Music Master.
He's a Poison, he's played 1 card, 2 cards, I think just 2 more cards will bring him the Poison and the victory. Sergio Ramos from Mexico is going to be your first ever Clash Royale champion. Takes it! Sergio Ramos wins!
It's pretty fascinating to look back and see how much players have stepped up their games since then. Anyway, we can safely say that PEKKA is a very powerful card. Yet the true madness was yet to come, as PEKKA prepared to unleash her full might in 2018. It's 2018, and PEKKA has continued to hold a key position in the decks of many players, a fact evident from numerous Reddit posts. The Witch and PEKKA are broken. Witch and PEKKA are everywhere over 5k. People are starting to max them out, and they're running rampant on ladders and clan wars. If you get them, you use them. There's no other way around it.
I'm gonna go drop my PEKKA. I was waiting to the last possible second to pump up. I just didn't want to let that happen to me. And what we're going to do is we're going to go drop Ice Spirit to counter the Goblin Gang.
One of the decks that gained significant traction was the 3 Musketeers deck, proving exceptional effectiveness across the majority of matches.
I don't know why he wouldn't do that, but whatever, man, you do you. We're going to go drop high 3 Musketeers to make sure that we can obliterate the majority of the Goblin Gang, but he's going to go drop Princess, and he's going to go in for a log. I'm going to go in for a zap to make sure that the Bandit charges in, and hopefully one of the Musketeers gets on top. Oh my gosh, that's going to be GG.
Now, I was really curious about PEKKA's usage rate in the middle of 2018. However, due to limited statistics and a lack of information about cards at that time, I couldn't find anything. So I went on Royale API's Facebook page and scrolled through all the posts from 2018. Eventually, I found this screenshot. which provides some pretty interesting insight. It highlighted the usage and win rates from War Day battles. The Elixir Collector came in first place with a 57% win rate, while PEKKA ranked 9th with a 54% win rate. But that's not all. When looking into card usage, we can see that PEKKA's usage rate is even higher than the logs, which is quite surprising. PEKKA stands at 19%, while the log is at 18%. Only 2 cards have higher usage rates, Mega Minion and Poison, both at 21%. So with the introduction of new cards in 2018, adapting PEKKA decks became a challenge, as players aimed to maintain the highest win rate possible. This became especially evident with the arrival of the Royal Recruits and Royal Hogs into the arena. Players had to constantly tweak their card choices in order to counter these new threats effectively. Despite the challenges, skilled players were able to find success by experimenting with different decks and tactics. Surgical Goblin, the 2019 World Champion, introduced a new PEKKA deck that proved extremely effective.
I have Surgical Goblin back on the line. A really cool new meta PEKKA deck, which is so interesting. It's been a while since we've seen Lightning even viable in the meta again.
This deck used Lightning, a spell that had been previously overshadowed by others, but was given a 5% damage buff, making it much more viable. Mega Minion remained a balanced card in the deck despite suffering numerous nerfs. The addition of the Magic Archer and Ghost provided excellent counters against swarms and cards like Royal Recruits and Royal Hogs, while the Log ensured effective defense against the popular log bait decks.
Spamming you. He's pot spamming you.
Yeah, so Magic Archer in this situation, I drop it to support PEKKA. I'm not sure if he has like a big spell yet. Looks like we might be able to get a good lightning here, hitting his Witch, and yeah, there goes Barbot as well. So PEKKA is still alive. PEKKA might actually connect to the tower here. He gives us a pretty good look, hitting the Princess and also the Barbot. Yeah, this is definitely tower, I think. Magic Archer should be able to get it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely tower.
Nice.
So, really sweet deck on his part.
The synergy between all the cards in the deck allowed Surgical Goblin to dominate his opponents and secure his victories. His strategic gameplay and adaptability with this new deck built up his reputation as one of the best Clash Royale players in the world. According to this Reddit post from September of 2018, PEKKA was used by 13% of mid-ladder players. You can get a sense of her popularity from a screenshot where a player encountered PEKKA several times in a row. It seems like a you problem, seeing as you're using a Golem deck. That being said, PEKKA is everywhere with 4,000 to 4,500 trophies. Yep, happened to me this morning too, 3 PEKKAs in a row at 5,100. It appears that PEKKA was quite common in the arena, as indicated by the comments, but she was not only popular among mid-ladder players, since we could see her being played several times in the 2018 World Finals. First off, there was a very intense match between ARC and Kiki. Kiki used a Hog Rider deck and ARC used PEKKA Bridge Spam.
Really weird interaction there with that NATO coming in the battle round, not the way Kiki wanted it to go.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get that Hog Rider by, and then maybe had a moment of where he freaked out a little bit there and played the Tornado, and the two didn't go together because it kept that PEKKA with the Hog Rider.
And now you're this is a very tough place to be in. A very nice fireball. Got to get the Tornado back out. There it is. Now what is going to catch that Bandit? That's the best question.
Bandit does go to the Ice Wiz, and Mini PEKKA down just in time.
542 to 558. Absolutely, really keeping his cool, keeping his head on his shoulders. Really nice plays all the way around the board. Need that NATO to come in right now, and if you can, you got to get the Hog Rider down. Maybe even to tank for that Bandit. No! Oh my gosh!
But hold on to your hats, because what happened next was off the charts insane. Like the highlight of 2018 level insane. The 2018 World Champ, Eltriop, going head-to-head with the Expo Master. Eltriop brought out the PEKKA Bridge Spam, while the Expo Master used the Golem Beatdown. And just watch.
Bridge Spam player, and that's the move. He sees the Golem come down and takes advantage immediately.
Yep, and that Lumberjack doing a ton of work on that Golem, taking it down to half health, essentially. Now that push is very, very weak, and there's the PEKKA that we knew was going to come down. You want to talk matchup? LCOP's got it.
Yeah, and you could see the reaction from Expo Master's teammates going, oh no, try to get things back and put his squad in the running.
Yeah, and a very smart, oh wow, what a great lightning from LCOP there. Just in time, the Battle Ram still connects. The Night Witch does go down, and that is not what you want for your Golem push. This has got to be LCOP's first game in hand.
That's got to be it, and you talked about what do we do against someone, and here we go,
wow. Oh my gosh, I spoke too soon. What a play by Expo Master. Jaws are dropped. You can hear the whole arena blowing up, and Expo Master throws out play. Goblin, and now you got to imagine Golem in the pocket. There it is.
Golem in the pocket, and that E-Drag now not only going to get onto the P.E.K.K.A, but also to that Goblin gang. This is massive here. The clone comes in. This
just a second late, though. The clone comes in just a second late. He wanted to get it down just a hair before so he could get 2 big golems.
And not able to goal him up because he does have that a massive lightning. That's a very interesting, but maybe potentially game-changing lightning here.
Wow, and a great lumberjack in turn by Elsiop as well. Dark Goblin in the pocket, not going to do the damage that he wants. And once again, you can probably go Golem, build a Golem push maybe. Don't go Golem in the pocket because the P.E.K.K.A's right there. Who knows? But that, oh, maybe this is going to be it.
You know, Ash was telling us that Elsiop does have, even though it's a Bridgespan player, can go too hard sometimes. And that might have been the moment. It might have been a desperation play a bit from Elsiop.
This is
and
it.
Now tower down right hand side.
Got it. Oh my gosh.
What a match. Wow. But I digress. P.E.K.K.A's journey in Clash Royale has been nothing short of extraordinary. Since the beginning, she experienced highs and lows, dominating the meta at times and blending into the background with the introduction of new cards. Yet she never fell into the shadows. But all that changed dramatically in 2019.
Like, the P.E.K.K.A is literally everywhere right now. This is a list of the most popular decks right now being played on the top 1000 leaderboard. And take a look at how many times the P.E.K.K.A appears. P.E.K.K.A right here, P.E.K.K.A, 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 P.E.K.K.A again, P.E.K.K.A again, P.E.K.K.A again.
2019 stands out as the most crucial year for P.E.K.K.A, without a doubt. Early in the year, a deck called P.E.K.K.A Ram began gaining popularity, often pushing players to the #1 spot on the ladder. I went back to the Royale API's Facebook page and found this picture from March, showcasing the top 20 decks in challenges. It is a bit blurry when I zoom in, but we can see the P.E.K.K.A's Ram deck was a winner in both Classic and Grand challenges. In the Classic challenge, the deck had an impressive 62.5% win rate, with about 10,300 players using it in the past 7 days. For the Grand Challenge, it maintained a 49.9% win rate, with over 14,000 players. It's safe to say that P.E.K.K.A's popularity soared as players discovered her potential in this new deck, proving her place as a top-tier card in Clash Royale. P.E.K.K.A is OP. P.E.K.K.A's stupid. Literally 60% of decks I face at Classic Challenge or Ladder are P.E.K.K.A bridge spam. The hugging same deck over and over again. It's ridiculous. P.E.K.K.A is so strong, this player is almost in the top 1,000 using a deck without a win condition. In August, a balance update decreased the P.E.K.K.A's hit points by 9.5%. However, it also increased her range to 1.6 tiles, now classified as melee long. This balance update brought about a significant change, giving her a larger range but reducing her hit points by almost 10%.
The P.E.K.K.A starts her swing from so much farther back, being able to take care of this super duper easily.
I want to talk about the P.E.K.K.A guys because the P.E.K.K.A right now is absolutely insane. Hands down, I think one of the strongest cards in Clash Royale right now, and one of the most annoying cards in the current meta. That's good. That's game. That's basically game. Ram Rider here. Poison for his furnace. The P.E.K.K.A, sorry. The P.E.K.K.A at 1 health gets a shot off on that tower. That is absolutely absurd. That range allowed her to get a hit off for sure. Wow. I actually thought she was going to be dead. I thought oh man, they killed P.E.K.K.A. But it appears I was wrong, and she is even stronger than she was before.
However, it didn't take long before P.E.K.K.A's influence faded for the first time in Clash Royale history. Just a month later, P.E.K.K.A received another update, shrinking her range from 1.6 tiles to 1.2. Unfortunately, this adjustment made her considerably less effective, and gradually her usage rate began to decline.
The RG, we actually pulled into the other lane. So let's go in with a Battle Ram here. He goes in with a Fireball. P.E.K.K.A gets one more hit. Oh my gosh, guys, good game. That was actually so cool.
Despite facing numerous nerfs and changes in the game, P.E.K.K.A's defensive capabilities have remained unmatched, making her a staple in the competitive Clash Royale matches. Igor's strategic use of P.E.K.K.A in the 2019 World Finals highlights the continued impact this card has on the game.
This was there to catch whatever was going to kite that P.E.K.K.A. Igor is playing so very well. A lot coming down. Maybe we see the kite attempt again. There it is. What's going to be there for the Royal Ghost?
Night Witch needs to get back to that Dark Prince one more time. Log pushing back. Decides to opt against. Dark Prince does come in high now. Nice kite from the Giant. Javi staying alive, has not allowed damage on the right-hand side for a while. This Dark Prince, though, may be a little bit aggressive.
He doesn't have his login cycle. He does have Zap. There we go. Bandit dashes through. Log late, and that will clean up the push.
That was beautiful, beautiful defense on the right-hand side.
PEKKA out of cycle. Graveyard comes down. This is huge.
Poison in response. 2 Musketeers alive.
And the Dark Prince. Still 8 elixir.
This match clearly shows just how effective PEKKA can be on defense, but this was nothing compared to what's coming next. This right here, in my opinion of course, is the best match in Clash Royale history. It was a match between Surgical Goblin with PEKKA bridge spam and Morton with Graveyard. Surgical Goblin consistently took advantage of the PEKKA counter push. By drawing all the damage, she created clear space for other troops to do damage to the Princess Tower. Morton, on the other hand, struggled to find an effective way to counter the PEKKA. This intense back and forth gameplay kept viewers on the edge of their seats until the very end.
These 2 players, Graveyard, one more time for Morton.
Needs to get any damage in on that tower. Poison comes down. That's not going to be enough to put him in the lead, especially because most likely that last card is poison.
Morton has to spend a little bit on the right-hand side just to not eat a massive amount of damage. And here we go, left-hand side.
Magic Archer not put in the right spot.
Just barely falling short on that geometry.
Valkyrie high, nope, Skelly's come in. Magic Archer still does not connect. Morton might be able to take this, Rich.
This is absolutely wild. Graveyard down, and now Surgical Goblin going high with the Royal Ghost. Bandit trying to defend against Graveyard.
Skelly's trying to get to tower. Poison is down, but we have Morton in the lead. If he gets the snowball down and Surge zaps, he still wins.
Inferno Tower high.
Magic Archer gets a shot.
Connecting.
Magic Archer gets another shot.
Martin trying to get Graveyard on tower. Poison gets down.
780 full on.
1 HP. 1 HP.
Oh my
God. Surgical Goblin does it. Liquid's going to the...
Despite PEKKA not being as dominant as she was before, true players have never abandoned her. Instead, they've found new ways and strategies to take advantage of her strengths. But that's not the end. This is merely just the beginning. 2020 was a year of PEKKA bridge spam.
With the very best PEKKA deck in Clash Royale. This PEKKA deck has Poison and Fireball bait with the Magic Archer and Electro Wizard. And you have a lot of bridge spam to constantly apply aggression to your opponents with the Battle Ram, the Royal Ghost, the Bandit, and of course the PEKKA.
Players all around the world showcased their creativity and adaptability in making use of PEKKA bridge spam to its fullest potential. On January 21st, this deck was more popular than ever, reaching an 80% win rate, #1 on the 200 ladder deck, and #1 Grand Challenge deck. Players who have mastered the art of PEKKA bridge spam have shown that adaptability is key to staying on top of the game. However, with the introduction of the most irritating, unpredictable, and hated card in Clash Royale history, the Firecracker, PEKKA fans were left furious. At that time, her recoil was 2 tiles, making it impossible for PEKKA to reach the Firecracker. Just watch how far she travels to take her down. All without success. With spells like Zap and Poison in the PEKKA bridge spam decks, effectively dealing with the Firecracker was challenging, since she could easily push herself out of poison. Another bit of a shameless plug here, but if you're curious about how this irritating yet beautiful lady dominated the meta in 2020, I have another 1-hour video on my channel detailing her insane history. Luckily, YouTube has a handy queue feature for you to watch that right after this. Moving on, despite the initial frustration, players have found creative ways to deal with the Firecracker and continue to showcase the versatility of the PEKKA bridge spam. However, there are certain matchups that are nearly impossible to win, especially the 2.6 Hog Rider deck. Speaking as someone who played 2.6 for years, I can't remember a single matchup against PEKKA that I lost. Yet the most skilled PEKKA players can sometimes overcome these seemingly impossible challenges. Take a look at this gameplay featuring Jack with the Hog Rider against Muhammad with PEKKA. Okay, coming off the tail end of Muhammad's push here, his ram gets lured by the cannon into the center. The rogue does get taken down by all the defenses. He drops down his Hog Rider with the log behind it to clear up the last of that little push. Does get a little bit of damage on that left tower there. Muhammad's going to respond with a PEKKA Royal Ghost push with the poison on the tower, inflicting a little bit of damage, but Jack is able to lure his troops away with that Ice Golem on the left side. Again, going with the Hog Rider log push to get even more damage, hammering on that left tower. HP is about even here, with Muhammad with a slight advantage. Again, another Royal Knight Magic Archer push on the right side. Those barbs are going to get lured by another Ice Spirit right in the middle there. And then again, PEKKA to stop the Hog push on the left side, but it does get one more hit off there at 700 HP to 582 on both sides. The Royal Ghost and Magic Archer again on that side. Hog Rider is able to actually just get past these defenses here. A wonderful fireball from in there. And the log does push back the PEKKA and the Royal Ghost again. Ice Golems to lure the troops. Another Hog Rider heading in to secure the victory. The Ram does get baited by the cannon there, and that's just barely enough HP, plus the fireball to end the game with all the troops there. Wonderful play by Jack. Unfortunately, even with how good of a player Muhammad was, it wasn't enough for him to secure the victory. But the fact that the HP difference is only 200 makes him an incredibly good PEKKA player. Now, the next impossible match was facing the 2.9 Expo deck. Fat Cat with the PEKKA bridge spam made some impressive plays in this match against Lemon Tree using a 2.9 Expo deck. Jumping right into the thick things at the probably the most important penultimate spot in the match here. Okay, starting off here, we can see that Lemon has a beautiful push going here. Archer, Ice Golem, Expo hitting the tower a little bit, but a beautiful Royal Ghost here, and the Electro Wizard is going to be able to get some damage and eventually take down the Expo with a little bit of help from the Bandit. The Skellies lure out the Zap spell, and we have an Ice Spirit pushing on the right side. But you can see how much damage that gets in on that tower alone there, just responding to that push from Fat Cat's beautiful play. Skipping a little bit forward here in the match. Here, Fat Cat's going to put down another Royal Ghost. He's pushing forward with PEKKA. Ice Golem's going to be going down with the Expo to try to defend against this push. Ice Golem's going to try to lure and stall time for the troops. It does go down, dealing that little bit of damage and slow to the troops. Nice little Skelly Swarm here. That Tesla does put in work, but it's not going to be enough. Again, that Expo is just hammering these troops as he's kiting everything over towards it. And it is going to set up another beautiful Elixir lead push for Lemon to get some nice damage. Log in front of the Ice Golem. Another one pops down, and that Ram is not going to be enough to do a whole lot here. Nice little fireball spell there to take out both the Royal Knight and the Electro Wizard. And again, a huge HP lead for him. That's 500 that he's over, and it's tiebreaker. It's going to go down to the last little bit here. That is what, a 400 HP lead again. Insane plays by our boy Lemon. These two decks brought major challenges to bridge spam players. However, in many other matchups like Beatdown, the bridge spam deck dominated, particularly among top players, but things took a different turn mid-ladder. To quote some players, honestly, this meta just hurts so much to play in. All the swarm and spam and fast gameplay is just utterly horrible to play against. Rip PEKKA. Bridge spam is terrible now. According to 14-day averages for grand challenges, out of all win conditions, PEKKA has the lowest win rate, 37%. Goblin Giant has the highest, that being 60%. PEKKA, especially in this meta, is a terrible card. Bridge spam has become less effective due to the current meta, with cards like PEKKA and Magic Archer struggling to perform well. However, as I mentioned earlier in the video, PEKKA can be a deadly or useless card, depending on the user. Still viable. Watch how top PEKKA bridge spam players perform. It's definitely viable. Not every deck will be in a great spot every season, but you can still win games. Despite the changes and potential counters, PEKKA bridge spam continues to be a viable deck in the right hands. Also, PEKKA played a crucial role in the 2020 World Finals. I carefully analyzed every matchup involving PEKKA to bring you the most impressive gameplay. So, let's kick things off with this 2v2 matchup. Watch closely as PEKKA gets amazing value throughout the game.
Really making a resurgence into the meta. Very curious if today's going to replicate what we saw yesterday.
And look at the timing of that lightning out of Ponos. Wow.
And so far, Queso's done a pretty good job of mitigating this. They get the reset over there. Ewiz needs to get on
difficulty trying to break through all this defense in that time.
Yeah, and that Hunter being in front of the Mega Knight was okay for a little while, but eventually you wanted that Mega Knight to get in front of the Hunter and help out. That not happening is a bit of trouble. However, Kuchi and Benny going on the heavy offensive right now.
In this match, PEKKA really stole the spotlight and changed the entire game's momentum. She took all the hits, letting the graveyard do its job, and gradually chip damage the opponent's tower. It was an amazing showcase of defensive ability and offensive pressure, showing PEKKA's amazing adaptability in skilled hands. Both players brought their A games, giving some genuinely outstanding gameplay.
That's what he wanted to do, but you look at this graveyard, those skeletons are piling up. Oh my goodness!
Mugi, a relatively unknown player at the time, picked the PEKKA graveyard deck in the next match. Unfortunately, he faced a formidable opponent with his own graveyard deck, and the presence of the baby dragon posed a significant challenge for Mugi.
Princess Tower with Graveyard and Cycle would have been a massive, massive mistake out of Mugi, but he's Mugi. Yeah, this is what you expect out of Jupiter King. Brilliant plays, very, very calculated, much more patient, and then he turns up the heat as we get into double and triple elixir. That's where he loves to live in.
And that NATO again trying to pull everything.
Anyway, it's incredible to see how gameplay has evolved and improved year after year, showcasing the dedication and skill of players. And now, what awaits us in the coming years is truly what we've all been waiting for. What we've heard so far is nothing compared to what's coming. 2021 brought a fascinating shift in perspective to PEKKA. PEKKA went from being disliked by mid-ladder players in 2020 to being loved by them in 2021. I'll say it again for the people in the back. PEKKA is the best card in the game! I completely agree. PEKKA is the best for sure. Best defensive card against big boys. Changed my mind. I found this shift pretty exciting. Strangely, there didn't seem to be a specific reason behind it. However, I assumed that the lockdown in 2020, may have played a bit of a role. With everyone at home and few activities available, many people turned to Clash Royale, which resulted in more dedicated play and improvement. Also, during this time, plenty of top players began sharing their gameplay on YouTube, especially PEKKA bridge spam players. These videos served as guides for players, helping them understand and use the deck effectively. One of the best PEKKA players, FatCat, dominated the PEKKA bridge spam for quite some time. He finished top 30 in January, 12th in February, and 14th in April. Check out this intense match featuring FatCat going up against Expo, which is a total hard counter to PEKKA bridge spam. Okay, so with FatCat at a slight disadvantage here, he does start to set up a PEKKA push here, taking out the Ice Golem and the Archer, pushing with Royal Knight and PEKKA into the Tesla and the Ice Spirit. Archers and another Ice Golem are going to be able to distract here. We've got a Log on the left side going against his Ram. And again, the PEKKA is putting in work here, taking all of this damage, letting Bandit get in, do 2 charges, getting onto the Archers, taking them out, and another Ram is coming in here, coupled with an Electro Wizard, The PEKKA does go down after absorbing a lot of the damage here. Archers are going to be able to take out those barbs, but it does let the Electro Wizard get some work in, hitting the tower right there. And another Royal Knight. I'm assuming we're going to see, another Ram. Ice Golem does lure the Royal Knight, but we see Magic Archer on the left side again with Bandit, able to take out this Tesla tower pretty quickly. Bandit's going to get another charge onto the Archers there. Ice Golem going to distract the Magic Archer, but look how much damage this push let him get on that left tower there, and that's going to be a beautifully easy victory for FatCat. That PEKKA gave him such a good elixir lead and how much value it got, soaking all of the damage and taking out that Tesla and whatever else Nova tried to throw at it. It just got so much value. FatCat was able to get a really good push on the left side there. Looking back on the gameplay, I didn't even notice like the sneaky little barb push that FatCat got on the left side there, while Nova was focusing everything on taking down that PEKKA Bandit push. That PEKKA just provided so much value, taking out the entire push from Nova and then getting even more resources to Tesla Towers. Just so much value out of the single card. So now if we count the number of decks that included PEKKA, we reach 86th place, which means out of 1,000 top players, 86 of them played PEKKA, indicating 8.6% usage rate. However, in late of 2021, there came a huge update that completely shifted the meta. For the first time in Clash Royale, as a lot of you probably know at this point, champions were introduced. And I was curious whether it had an impact on PEKKA. To my surprise, there wasn't a rise or fall in PEKKA's popularity. It basically stayed the same, around 8% usage among top players. No wonder she played a key role in the 2021 World Finals. In this match, Mugi used a PEKKA Ram deck against Reinhardt, showing the strength and versatility of the card in high-level gameplay.
100 worth of minor chip, and that is actually really good for him. He baited out a poison on the right-hand side, so now he gets a free poison on the left-hand side for him, and that PEKKA, that hurts.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that hurts.
Mother Witch, PEKKA, Royal Ghost, and
Ram Rider in. There we go.
You kind of feel as though maybe Reinhardt expected he was going to be up against Royal Hogs with the bomb tower pick for Minor Cycle. Instead, finds himself up against PEKKA Ram Rider.
Poison and full defense because he is going to lose a cycle battle. Can he get another Miner in?
Miner can get in. Does this Miner get caught? Miner goes to the #1 spot. And the E-Wiz comes down in time. Snowball not there to help.
In the following match, we can see why allowing PEKKA getting closer to your tower is never a good idea. It's a match between Morten and Mini Minter, where Morten successfully defends against Mini Minter's miners, turning the tide of the game to his favor.
A bit of his skills there, and this is still a very healthy PEKKA coming down here. The Ghost is going to add a ton of pressure. He needs to defend that. A dash on there, and I mean...
Girl high here, saying he might catch with the PEKKA, and there we go. And that's just one quick shot. 1959 to 1255 with 47 seconds left.
But look at the health on the PEKKA. PEKKA is full health. Second Red Rider coming in. That dash does not connect, but this should be game over.
Yeah, I mean, and there goes the Miner. Tesla does get down, but Mama PEKKA says, hello, tower, goodbye, tower.
In the next match, the tables turned, and this time, Mini Minter used a PEKKA deck of his own against Morten's Logbait. This match was very intense. One of my favorites.
Fireball possibly here. There you go. A beautiful fireball from him, which is going to cause arrows to probably come down onto this Princess as well.
Really great. And Magic Archer value here from Mini Minter. Magic Archer on the tower. Magic Archer on the tower. That is a whole lot of damage there on the left-hand lane.
You can't even write this. Does he have his arrows? He has the arrows in cycle. He is down 400. This is Morten's last chance, and a Magic Archer here to clean up. He did not want to use the arrows on this situation, but this is getting a lot scarier. This is a huge push coming out of Morten.
Final 13 seconds. Goblin Barrel in. Goblin Barrel will get arrowed. Oh, the arrows miss! Why? The arrows miss! Oh my word! Morten knocks out Mini.
In the following match, we see how some matches are just impossible to win with Pekkas. Mugi used a Royal Giant deck against Muhammad Light, and it was devastating. The strategic use of Fisherman in Mugi's deck proved to be a game changer, showcasing the importance of having the right counters in Clash Royale matches. Muhammad Light's lack of cheap distraction cards eventually led to his defeat. This shows how the introduction of new cards can heavily impact the usage of others. For this reason, PEKKA has completely vanished into the shadows in 2022 because of one single update. PEKKA seemed to be a solid choice for players in the first half of 2022. Looking at the January statistics, we can see that 55 players have played her in the top 1,000, giving her a use rate of 5.5%. One player who began to shine like a beacon among the players was a Japanese player named Issei, who mastered PEKKA bridge spam and became the best player in the world. In January, he finished 24th, and his gameplay was pretty incredible. Okay, starting off this play here, he drops Hog Rider behind because he does see that ASAP responded with a Tesla right in the center there. Drops guards right there, and then Baby Dragon with the AoE is going to help clear this out. Hog Rider does get lured to the Tesla, but with Bandit helping him clear it out, that's going to make quick work of it. A Valkyrie is going to deal with a little bit of that bridge spam, but again, that PEKKA and that Baby Dragon are still a huge threat. ASAP is going to have to deal with them somehow. Wall breakers are going to lure them away just a tiny bit, help them kite. A spell and an extra Tesla tower is going to take it down there, but another PEKKA and another Hog Rider again from Issei this time. He doesn't have to deal with the full Tesla. ASAP does put the bomber down there, but that's okay. He's already got his Baby Dragon out. Just soak up a little bit of that damage. Guards again. The bomber's not going to get a whole lot of value here because, again, Baby Dragon's able to take it out, and this is just a huge amount of spam. If PEKKA even gets one hit on that tower, it's going to be over for ASAP, and is already down to 50, and that's it. That's it right there. Dude, it's so much to deal with. You can see just how much pressure that PEKKA is going to put on the enemy to do something about it. And with a not full Tesla tower there, it's game over. This next match is one that Issei actually uploaded himself. Issei has a good push here going with Bandit. Baby Dragon drops a PEKKA in the back left corner again. Readies the snowball to take out whatever may come, but the Skellies are going to take out the Bandit. Drops Archer Queen on the other side to help deal with the start of that push, but Electro Wizard's going to take that down, coupled with a Ram Rider in the back. Again, we're seeing the same combo being used basically to its full effectiveness. Drops the Baby Dragon to deal with the Knight. That Bomber Tower's getting some good AoE, but it's not going to be enough. Log does come down to delay that push a little bit, do whatever. PEKKA does shift focus, unfortunately, but he's just soaking up so much damage, so much attention, so much focus from the enemy here. Ram Rider does go down, but look how much damage this is just getting and a easy bandit drop does secure him the victory there. It really is difficult to deal with PEKKA Ram. EC's innovative strategies and exceptional gameplay have truly set him apart from the competition, securing his position as a top player in the world. In June, a mid-ladder player shared a picture on Reddit expressing disappointment about PEKKA's decline. However, when we check the stats, a 49% win rate and 6% usage rate don't seem too shabby. Sure, PEKKA might not be as strong as before, but it still holds its own as a decent card. Unfortunately, things went downhill pretty fast in just a few months. At the beginning of 2022, players had no idea there would be a new air troop that would completely ruin our game. In October, a new update came in which involved a new card. This easily is the most powerful card ever released in Clash Royale. The legendary Phoenix. Phoenix ruled over the meta for a while, and if you weren't using Phoenix or filling your deck with counters, you were actively putting yourself at a disadvantage. And since PEKKA is a ground troop, Phoenix was a complete hard counter. That's why PEKKA completely vanished, not just among average players, but even at the top level as well. If we look at stats in September, we can count all the way down to 54 top players using PEKKA in 1,000, which indicates 5.4% usage. However, if we go to the following month, the month when Phoenix was introduced, we can see a pretty drastic drop in usage, from 54 players to only 16 players using PEKKA, a massive 75% decrease in usage among the top players. This was one of the reasons why we haven't seen PEKKA in the 2022 World Finals. I searched over every single match, but PEKKA was nowhere to be found, showing just how much the meta had shifted in such a short period of time. The introduction of Phoenix truly changed the landscape of competitive play and forced players to adapt quickly to stay competitive. However, Phoenix suffered significant nerfs in the months that followed, bringing its power level back into balance. Its HP and damage were reduced, and its revival ability was adjusted. That's why we saw a significant increase in PEKKA's usage in December, with 4.2% among the top players. And that's not all. In the same month, the PEKKA bridge spam experienced major changes as a result of a rage buff.
Hey, what's up guys? PEKKA bridge spam has finally evolved in Clash Royale. The number 33 player in the world swapped Zap for Rage and pushed up a ton of ranks. Rage is essentially Zap, but better for bridge spam. After the balance changes, it does the exact same damage as Zap, but it makes your units move and attack faster. I gotta go in for a battle ram here. And then with the PEKKA, this should work out pretty well for us because I can fireball on the Zappies, ignore the other Zappy on the other side, and then he'll probably mini PEKKA? Yeah, he does. So we'll rage up the PEKKA so that it arrives faster on the tower, and then we're able to kill the mini PEKKA with the Barbarian, and we're able to take the entire tower. That's why this deck is so strong. It feels really wrong.
However, despite everything that happened, we are still far from done. Phoenix's impact on PEKKA was nothing compared to what happened in 2023. This year, it's as if PEKKA vanished into the depths of Clash Royale. 2023 was the worst year in PEKKA's history, despite the fact that it began so promisingly. Two players achieved top finishes in January using PEKKA Balloon Freeze decks. One is ranked 5th, the other is ranked 12th. The success of these players sparked a surge in PEKKA Balloon Freeze decks throughout the ladder. Okay, so starting out here, this is a match between JP and Marpa. JP drops his PEKKA to deal with the Ram Rider pushing through to start his bridge spam right here. He drops a Lumberjack in with the PEKKA to aid in that push, and JP's going to respond by dropping his Mega Knight to stop that push, but Marpa has a balloon right behind it as well. Hopefully make sure it doesn't get a whole lot of damage in here. JP tries to respond with a snowball, but it's just not going to be enough. The PEKKA really just paving the way for that balloon. So if we take a look at stats from January, PEKKA is still in a good spot, with 36 players using her in the top 1,000. Also, the PEKKA Bridge Spam still holds its position as a really good deck. PEKKA Bridge Spam has a 52% win rate in Ultimate Champion and a 56% win rate overall, making it the 4th most powerful deck in the game at this point in time. One of the reasons is that it counters Golem Beatdown, which was currently meta.
Should be some quite good damage. Ghost is hammering away at the left side, and right side is already pretty much down too. I'll ignore the skeleton dragons. We can just go for the PEKKA up high to kill the Lumberjack first. You do have to focus on the support units a bit more. You should handle this E-drag pretty well. Okay, just have to poison. It's alright. We're fine. We're fine. pretty nice and easy defense.
Overall, PEKKA remains a strong choice in the meta due to its versatility and effectiveness against popular decks. Its usage rate indicates that players continue to find success with this card in competitive play. However, the tides dramatically shifted in June. June was a very special month for the entire game, as Clash Royale introduced evolutions. This was PEKKA's final nail in the coffin. In July, PEKKA had a 0.7% usage rate with only 7 players using her in the top 1,000. This was primarily due to the Evo Firecracker, which PEKKA players found to be the most irritating card in the game.
2,000 damage on the tower with everything tanking. Nothing's even getting through. It's just the fact that she's hitting that Pekka. Oh my god. All right, we're good. Oh my god, Firecracker!
And things got even worse later on. In October, PEKKA usage fell as low as 0.5%, and that's more than an 85% decrease compared to 3.6% usage in February. As a result, October is PEKKA's worst year in history. With such a drastic decrease in usage, it's clear that PEKKA would need some major tweaks to make a comeback in the game. PEKKA decks are in a terrible state. Yeah, PEKKA is just completely unviable. PEKKA bridge spam dead? Now we can finally say PEKKA is the worst card in the game. Because of that, voices of players asking Supercell to buff the PEKKA grew stronger and stronger each month. PEKKA buff. PEKKA buff needed. Any buff to the almighty PEKKA would be greatly appreciated. The lack of response from the developers only fueled the frustration among players who relied on PEKKA in their decks. It seemed like the once mighty card was destined to remain at the bottom of the rankings. I watched every match in the 2023 Clash Royale World Finals, and not once did PEKKA make a single appearance. This clearly indicates that she was in a grave state, considered the worst card in the game. However, here is where things get real interesting. In August, one of the crucial cards in the PEKKA bridge spam received a buff: the Battle Ram. A balance update increased the Battle Ram's hit points by 6% and decreased the distance required for charging to 3 tiles from 3.5. This was one of the factors that encouraged PEKKA bridge spam players to return, but this was only the beginning. In November, something incredible came up for PEKKA, causing her usage rate to explode by over 800%. But before I tell you what happened, you know what? Take a guess. And you know what? I'll even be nice. Here's a little hint for you. PEKKA was not either buffed nor nerfed. Yeah, stop the video and let me know down in the comments what you think it might have been. And if you already know, well, you know what? You can gloat instead. Alright, 3, 2, 1. The introduction of Evo Archers sparked this enormous rise in PEKKA's usage. When Evo Archers were first introduced, they were incredibly powerful. They could effectively target any unit from the bridge, making them a preferred choice for PEKKA bridge spam players over the Magic Archer. This tweak resulted in a cheaper, quicker, and considerably more effective deck in the current meta. Looking at these statistics for November, we can see a significant increase in PEKKA's popularity. Among the top 1,000 players, 45 chose to include PEKKA in their decks, indicating a usage rate of 4.5%. This represents an 800% increase compared to October. This meta shift had a ripple effect throughout the Clash Royale community, with many players changing their decks to counter the rise of PEKKA bridge spam. It goes to show how one card introduction can completely change the landscape of the game. But hold on tight, because this is still just the beginning. PEKKA lovers are about to witness something truly exceptional in 2024. The year of 2024 was unexpected in every way. First off, PEKKA bridge spam players were back in power, including the original PEKKA bridge spam master, Tourist, who returned to competitive Clash Royale. Tourist showed his impressive abilities with a variety of decks he crafted, but it was his combination of Evo Archers and Little Prince that really made him stand out. It's no surprise he ranked #1 in the world. This is a match between Tourist and Cycle. Tourist has his PEKKA already pushing down the bridge there, setting up for that spam. He does have his Ram right behind it, but a little Ice Spirit's going to delay that push just a tiny bit. Really good placement by Cycle. It does get another charge off there. That is where we see that buff coming into play. The Knight is going to delay this push just a little bit, but another PEKKA with the Evo Archers right behind with a Royal Knight, or sorry, a Royal Ghost, taking out whatever push that Cycle tries to get on that left side. 2 bandits coming in, and that Royal Archer really helped stop that push on the left side so he could set up his push on the right side with this P.E.K.K.A spam again. Little Prince putting in work. P.E.K.K.A is just taking the full brunt of everything. The log is going to clear out a fair bit there, but this is just going to be an overwhelming assault from Tourist here. And it's just a free tower at that point. So, with all that being said, unfortunately, it didn't take long, and P.E.K.K.A players disappeared from the arena once again.
Oh, that's so cool. That's
it's so inoffensive. Powerful. What the heck? How much? 230 damage and it bounces.
The introduction of the Evo Bomber in February drastically impacted the meta, resulting in a serious decrease in P.E.K.K.A usage. P.E.K.K.A's use dropped from 4.5% to 0.9%, with only 9 players in the world's top 1,000 using her in their decks. This shift to the meta was a major blow to P.E.K.K.A players who had previously dominated the meta. As a result, P.E.K.K.A players' call for buffing P.E.K.K.A grew even louder. Petition to buff P.E.K.K.A. Hell yeah, brother! I also agree, it's been September 2019 since the last change, and so far, the meta's shifted a lot. Even a small buff could make the P.E.K.K.A balanced. Players are eager to see a change that will make P.E.K.K.A more viable in the current meta. Surprisingly, Supercell listened to players for the first time ever. In March, a balance update increased the P.E.K.K.A's range to 1.6 tiles from 1.2 tiles, now classified again as melee long.
How this plays out, I'll tell you though, so many interactions are going to change, and I think she's actually going to be an above average card now, without a doubt.
ARCTO really needs that is the P.E.K.K.A, dude. As you guys can see, my P.E.K.K.A isn't even level 15 yet, and she gets a range buff 33%. I don't know how big this will be. I know how we'll look at in-game, but you guys remember the time when P.E.K.K.A already got a range buff? She was broken, dude. She was hitting your tower from from an awesome range. Back then, P.E.K.K.A was busted.
P.E.K.K.A gang about to be up. Finally, let's see if P.E.K.K.A can make use of this. Fellow P.E.K.K.A players, we finally won. This buff gave players plenty of reason to celebrate, as it brought back P.E.K.K.A's viability in the current meta. It's no surprise that Issei quickly regained dominance in the meta once again. Check it out. Top 1, and top 1. Right after the balance update. His gameplay reached new heights of insanity. Starting here, Issei has his P.E.K.K.A on the left side to deal with the Little Prince and that mortar tower. Magic Archer right behind him while he's pushing with King and Ram on the right side. And a Royal Guard does drop down. Knight's going to be there to soak up the P.E.K.K.A for a little bit while Miner goes in and does his thing on that Magic Archer. Log's going to finish taking him out, but the archers do survive here. And all this put together gets him the tower. Okay, so starting off here, P.E.K.K.A back corner to counter the Miner and Wallbreaker push. He's going to drop Evo Archers. Oh no, he drops a Battle Ram on the right side there. The P.E.K.K.A is going to be pushing with a Royal Knight to stop that Firecracker push. Magic Archer is going to be in range to help take out that Goblin Swarm on the right side. The Battle Ram does go down as it's trying to approach the Bomb Tower, but again, Evo Archers on the left side here are going to help take out the Miner there. Explosion does go off. That's not going to do much to them. And on the right side, has a Knight distracting that Miner while Evo Archers are putting in work to help take out the Bomber Tower. P.E.K.K.As are going to go back, or P.E.K.K.A is going to go back and help, and this is just another massive slaughter. You can see just how much work the Evo Archers put in supporting this whole P.E.K.K.A push. And while the Miner is on that back tower there, it's not going to be enough. Royal Ghost is going to help take him out just in time. And another Battle Ram just to be sure, securing the victory for Issei here. So it's safe to say that P.E.K.K.A has become a deadly card after this buff, but her story is far from over. Reluctantly, I stumbled upon a Zap Evolution video on the official Clash Royale YouTube channel, and something caught my attention. Watch.
And drank a whole bottle of lightning. From that day forth, he was constantly charged with electricity. Now every time he touches anything metal, he immediately gets a shock. And taking a bath would be a life-threatening incident.
Yeah, did you notice that too? There's a mini P.E.K.K.A inside a P.E.K.K.A. Does this mean that her entire history since 2012 was a lie? Was she controlled by a mini P.E.K.K.A all along? Or maybe she's pregnant? These are the questions that have piqued gamers' interest, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, so please share them down in the comments. Anyway, in the current meta, P.E.K.K.A stands out as a highly effective card, with a 50% win rate among the top players and a 5% usage rate. I believe P.E.K.K.A has a bright future ahead of her. With the addition of new cards and balance updates, I'm confident that she'll reclaim her position as the best card in the game very soon. Please subscribe if you loved the video, and check out this video next, where I discuss the most irritating card in Clash Royale history.